Hey everybody, I'm Ray.
And I'm Paul.
We are the Alconauts.
As we are every week.
Yes, we are. Well, this week we've got a special guest with us again. We are joined by Bob Romeo, host of the Romeo Report on YourTV. Hey Bob.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, Bob, we're doing pretty good. Yourself?
I'm wearing my shirt. Thank you guys very much for the shirt.
And look at that. He's got the shirt that Emery won in our giveaway contest.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
It looks really good on you, Bob.
Thank you.
Just so our audience knows, and so we can get a little bit more familiar with you, why don't you take a moment to explain to our audience a little bit about yourself and the ventures that you've been working on?
Well, basically, I've been doing the Romeo Report now, I guess, for a year. Started during lockdown in COVID-19 because I used to do source reports for YourTV. I still do them once in a while, but there's really no events to go to. Jack Custer's at the station had asked me about doing a show. The idea came about. Mark Wiccabreda, one of my friends for years, who's a producer there as well, suggested the first name. I took it, the Romeo Report. I thought that's perfect. So we've been doing this show now for a year, and we've had Matt Dusk has been on it. We've had Derry Graham from Honeymoon Suite. Pauly Shore, who I knew for a time when I lived in Los Angeles, he came on the show. And we had Matt Jardine. We've had Splash and Boots for some of the parents out there that their kids watch Splash and Boots. We've had a lot of great guests on the show so far. My wife has been on the show, different people from the area. Louisa O'Keene, who used to be at O'Canada, now doing her own thing. A lot of different people from different walks of life. And now what I've been doing lately is getting the mayors on, and I have a segment, Get to Know Your Mayor. So, and it's turned out, it's not political questions. It's things that you want to know. What's their favorite food? What's their favorite band? What do they do in their spare time? Kind of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
You should throw in a plug that I also do a show with my lovely wife, Anne Marie, who you guys know, and we do the Bob and Annie show, which is also on YouTube, which is at romeoradio.org. You can find it, and we do a bunch of episodes too.
It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out.
It is actually pretty cool, and I love the intro song. So you guys definitely have to check that out.
It's super catchy.
Daughter, Catherine Jane. So.
Awesome. Yeah, that's an earworm, that song. I hear the intro start, and I keep singing it through the whole episode while I watch it.
Okay, before we get any further, what we're going to do is we're going to explain the process to our audience and to Bob over here, just so we're all on the same page. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to crack open our lovely beers over here and pour them into our glasses, at which point we're going to have our initial taste. From there, we'll have an initial opinion. We'll chit-chat a little bit with Bob, find out a little bit more about his ventures and any future endeavors that he has. We'll get to the point where we're going around the bend. And then from there, we should have another opinion. Hopefully it hasn't changed. And then we'll continue to have some discussions with Bob Romeo. And then before we get to the bottom of our glass, we're going to chug what's left in the glass, whether it's good or bad, and just shove this thing right down the back of our throats. So that's basically our process for our show. Ray, you want to tell us about the tale of the tape?
Yeah, absolutely. So this week we've got Chicken Man Pale Ale from Furnace Room Brewing in Georgetown. Now, interesting name, Chicken Man Pale Ale. So apparently, in Georgetown, there is this man who used to ride his bike all over town with his trusty chicken on board. I've personally never witnessed it. I've been to Georgetown, never saw him. Not sure how long ago that would have been. But that's the story anyways. So he's the iconic chicken man. And this is a pale ale. So it's brewed with 3 different types of hops. They say it's, quite fruit and citrus forward, but it's not overly bitter. So we're looking at a 30 IBUs, 5.4% ABU. So I'm really looking forward to this one. They say it delivers a punch of citrus.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty thirsty. So let's crack these guys open.
All right.
I told you guys I have my Poultry Fest chicken cup that I'm going to put the chicken man in.
Oh, I love that so much. That's wicked.
I'm not Carrot Top. I don't have all the props, but
Whatever you do, don't start smashing stuff.
No.
Well, it's got a nice golden color to it.
It does.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh.
Made it.
Did you?
Yep, it's a little bit hazy.
It's got a slight haze to it. Let's stay in the glass.
Got a feeling your glass may be a little bit smaller than the can there, Bob.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, you may need to top up a little bit. That's okay.
My foam is overflowing over my glass.
Yeah.
And is dripping right down the front, right into my crotch. So this is I didn't want to get it on the table, so I sacrificed this area as opposed to this area.
Paul's being weird again.
Well, it's got a nice citrus smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a sip and let's see what we think, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay. Ray, what do you think so far?
Well, it's I noticed on the can here as I was pouring it, it said it's full of stone fruit flavors. So that'd be like peach, apricot, nectarine. And on the initial taste, I really get that. Really, really get that. And not overly hoppy.
Okay, Bob, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I can taste the fruit. I can taste a similar. I'm not a beer aficionado or anything, but kind of like a Guinness kind of taste of a thickness in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, interesting. I can feel it playing on my tongue. I'm getting that carbonation on my tongue. I do get that hint of a citrusy, fruity taste to it. Right off the top, I'm gonna say I'm not totally convinced right now. So I'm not hating it, but at the same token, I'm not loving it.
but really, really carbonated.
It is carbonated, yeah. I could really taste it. It's almost like it's like if you're drinking a Sprite or a Coca-Cola. That's the kind of carbonation you're getting on your tongue.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the way that you sit out on the patio and tell chicken stories. I don't know what they do in Georgetown.
Chicken stories.
The poultry festival in Smithville, and they used to have chicken races, and one of them got loose one time. And to see an elderly person, a little kid, and a middle-aged person all knew how to grab that chicken, pick it up, and get it back to where it needed to be. Not me, being from the city.
Did you feel a little inept knowing that a little kid and an elderly man was able to handle this?
Yeah, and they put it in a baby buggy, so go whatever they want to do.
I can totally see Bob hopping up on the nearest chair and screaming like a little girl. Go, chicken!
If you could have a show where you could build it from the ground up, what kind of show would it be, and what would it be called?
Maybe just, I was thinking the other day, maybe just the Bobby Show. Some people do call me Bobby. I'm the guy who always had the nicknames on Kojiko when I do the source reports. I don't really use them much on my own show now. But probably similar to, if this was like a big network show that I had, probably similar to like Jimmy Kimmel and Letterman's had, with some guests and then a music guest. Every once in a while, it's good to have people on to talk, but it's nice also to get someone on, even a local artist, as a bonus, to promote their record and to actually hear them perform and help them sell some records.
And you've come across quite a few personalities, as you said before. Could you name probably your top personalities that you've talked to on your shows?
Well, Pauly Shore's interview didn't turn out the way I thought it was. I think he thought he was on radio, so he was doing a lot of fidgeting off camera. But I knew him from the Comedy Store. Me and my brother Ron lived in Los Angeles for 3 years, and we did some script writing. We wrote a script for Pauly. It didn't get produced, but we would see him at the Comedy Store. I talked to him when he was down there. And then we'd met him at Just for Laughs, maybe 10 years ago. And then when I called him up for this, he happened to be doing a new movie, which is Guest House, which is a little raunchy. It's a little old style, but it's actually a funny movie. So he was doing that. So he said, "Oh, come on and promote that." So it was fun to have him on again.
Who else comes to mind that stands out?
The one that really stood out for me is, me and my wife are all about our daughter, Catherine Jane. And when she was young, we took her to the Big Day Out with the Wiggles and also with Splash and Boots, who were on the show. And she's getting a little older. She's not as into the music as it is. But Splash and Boots are still going strong. Their new album that they have out, I guess Bob Ezra, I think they have the same producer or management anyways, is Alice Cooper. And they were at a party and they called and Alice Cooper was there. And I guess someone joked, "Oh, you should get him to be on the album." And they're like, "He would never be on the album." They sent him some words, he sang it, and he's on their new album. This kid's on Alice Cooper. So, wow. And I've met them a bunch of times through my daughter and stuff like that. And they were just really, really cool to work with.
That's funny now that you say that, because I don't know if you caught that news article. I think it came out today or yesterday. I get it from the Google News. It was an elementary school teacher in the States, and he did the ABCs to a Korn melody. And I think it was the lead singer or the guitar player from Korn posted that to their actual social media page, and it was pretty awesome.
Very cool.
And if you could have a third personality that could be in your top three, who's that going to be?
Someone that I really like to have on, and I may try to see if I can get her on, is back in the MTV days, Martha Quinn. One of my favorites of all time.
You know who I miss from the MTV Much Music days? Erica M. I don't know if you remember her, sorry.
She was just on, they did a big interview with her, I caught, for Women's Day. I guess it was pretty rocky for her when she was at MTV. It was a real fight to get to where she got to. So
yeah, she was at Much Music, and people used to always think that Martha Quinn was the one who was ripping off Erica M. But Martha Quinn was first in the States. They launched that. Then Canada had Much Music.
How are you guys doing with your beers? Because I see, regardless of the fact that I said I didn't like this, I'm kind of getting a little past the bend. How are you making out, Bob?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I think it's pretty tasty, actually.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have a couple sips. Let's get around that bend, and let's see if our opinions have changed. Cheers
again.
Cheers.
Did you care to start this time, Paul?
Yeah. As I'm drinking this, I'm starting to taste the hops come out of this. It's starting to blend a little bit better with the fruitiness and the slight citrus taste in there. The mouth feels a little toning down a little bit. It's growing on me. I'm not quite there, but it's growing on me. Bob, what are you thinking?
I still think I like it. Yeah, I sometimes I like to drink like the Summersby and stuff like that. It's not as fruity as that. Summersby is a little more fruitier than this, but no, I'm liking it.
Okay,
cool.
All right.
Yeah, my initial thoughts still hold true. The stone fruit, the peach, apricot, mango, not mango. Well, mango's a stone fruit, I guess. So, but that comes through for sure. I really enjoy. I'm enjoying what I'm drinking here. It tastes fantastic. But I'm still thrown off a little by how carbonated it is.
Yeah, I'm getting the burps here. I'm trying not to burp out loud, but I'm burping through my nose, which is burning my nostrils. But it's like I said, it is growing on me.
Do you ever miss the stand-up stage, Bob, or?
Sometimes I do, but I mean, it's changed so much when you look at stuff that you used to necessarily say on stage and the stuff that you used to do. Now everybody's got their phone out all the time, and you say one, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but you start into anything that someone could say, "Oh, this is what he thinks of." It could be something silly. This is what he thinks about hot dogs. Next thing, someone makes a big deal. Everybody's making stuff about stuff now, so you really got to watch it. I know it is bothering a lot of comedians. Even the roast that we used to see, we're not seeing celebrity roasts anymore. And that was something that, comedy clubs for years used to be a thing where you basically hang your hat, hang your beliefs. You're there to laugh at it no matter what. And if everybody gets made fun of, that's fantastic, But it's hard to do anymore.
It seems like comedians these days have their hands tied behind their backs. Unless you're a big name comedian, getting paid the big bucks. It seems like if you say the wrong thing, it's on the wrong social media, you're going to get persecuted, and you can almost guarantee your career is done.
Yeah, even Jerry Seinfeld works pretty much clean, but he's even been raked over the coals before, too. So, And then I didn't know until recently, watching his show, The Comedian in Cars, that he's been best friends with Eddie Murphy since they're 18. I would have never seen those two being together. But they talk about the stuff they talk about in their own life that if anyone ever taped that, they'd both be canceled.
Absolutely.
So I don't even know what they're talking about.
It's funny because I censor myself in my own house. I've got teenage daughters, and things that, we said as, teenagers, young adults in our lives, you make that same reference now and, oh my gosh, the world is ending. Dad, I can't believe you said that.
It's funny. I actually watched Eddie Murphy Raw probably about a month ago, and the stuff that came out on that show was just ludicrous. I don't think anyone would appreciate it these days.
No,
just the language that came out.
Well, yeah, all the stuff he talked about. And I heard a funny story about that. Someone asked him about that suit, the red suit. It was like a Michael Jackson thing. Someone asked him if he still has that. And apparently he was friends with the guy from Living Color, Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Yep. Okay.
And they used to go to the clubs. And he had it once, and he said, I'll put it on and go. Well, he tore it all up because he's much bigger. So he doesn't have that jacket anymore.
That's too bad.
That's a great piece of tidbit.
Yeah, comedians like Andrew Dice Clay just would not work today.
No, I don't even know if he does it anymore. When I was at the Comedy Store, we would be there on the weekends, and he would come 2 nights in a row. He'd get up there and do an hour's worth of material. And I came back here once. I was working at Sam the Record Man, and he released a CD, and it was everything that I've heard. I knew every single bit.
Wow.
And it's funny to see him there. But he, at one time, had a show with Kathy Moriarty. I don't even know the name of it, but he was a family man. And it was so funny because he got that show, and the next week he did all material that was safe material. And he was blaming the guys for being terrible and this.
Wow. And
then that show got canceled, and he came back that same week, and it was regular material. I couldn't believe it.
You know who shocked me the first time I saw him stand up on this whole thing is Bob Saget.
Oh, yeah.
I was not expecting what came out of his mouth the first time I saw him do his own stand-up.
People don't believe that he would do that, but yeah, he is pretty raunchy.
Actually, I actually used to work on cruise ships, and Bob Saget was doing comedy for a week there, and it was just gold. His comedy was just gold. It was raunchy as crap, and it was just amazing. People were just rolling over, dying laughing from watching Bob Saget because you don't expect it from him.
People think he's from America's Got, or whatever it was, America's Funniest Home Videos, that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah,
Full House.
Yeah, Full House. The dad from Straight Laced.
I went on one night at the Comedy Store, and then 3 comics after me, I went down the road to visit with some friends, and I was coming back. I missed him. He went on after me, and apparently Olsen twins stuff, everything.
Wow.
How long were you in Los Angeles for?
For about 3 years, we lived down there. We did writing. We had this is interesting too. We had a manager. It was hard to get a manager and an agent. So we had a manager and an agent who represented us for both. His name was Jackie Kahane. And Jackie Kahane was born in Poland, immigrated to Montreal. He grew up in Montreal, and he became a comedian. So he became the comedian. This is how we got to know Pauly Shore, because he was friends with Pauly Shore's dad, Sammy. And Jackie didn't tell us. Jackie was a great guy. He always had good stories about Milton Berle and all these different guys. he was the last comic from, I believe, 71 to 77 that opened for Elvis Presley on tour.
Wow.
He did the
Really?
eulogy at Elvis's funeral. Some people say he came up with the "Elvis has left the building" quote. And he's done so much. He opened for Wayne Newton. He never told us that stuff. He used to always talk about Elvis. But just to listen to his story were fantastic.
Well, I think we're getting pretty close to that chug point, eh, Paul? How you doing, Bob?
We are. How you doing?
So, yeah.
Okay, well,
Nice.
okay, let's do the chug. Ray, explain the rules.
All right. Rules are, I'm going to count down from 3. We're going to throw this back. Glass to the table. First one with their glass on the table wins the chug.
There you go.
Simple as that. Are we ready? 3?
Yeah, I always lose.
2. I'll say go before you tip it back. 1. Go.
Oh, Jeebus. I got like some of it all over me again. And again.
The
I gotta stop wearing these light-colored shirts where everyone can see where the beer goes on my shirt.
Yeah.
You know, I think after drinking that, I can see the man on the bike with the chicken.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
And I'm sure he's thanking you for your patronage.
Yes, I recognized him.
yeah.
Okay, Bob, what do you think of this beer? You've gone through the process, you've chugged it back. What are your thoughts here?
I don't think it's bad. I think on maybe a hot summer day when we sit on the patio, that might be all we do for a little bit. I think it might be a nice beer to have a hamburger with it and sit there.
Cool.
If you could give it a score out of 5, what would it be?
Out of 5, maybe a 3.
Okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay.
Ray,
So-
what are your thoughts?
You know, on the chug, the carbonation definitely got me. It caught the throat for sure. But the flavors, I really, really enjoy, the stone fruit flavor that comes out in this. As a pale ale, you expect more of a citrus. So I found it quite smooth, even though it was very, very carbonated. The chug was easy. I had no problems there. I would definitely put this in my fridge. I would definitely go and buy some more. It's the first time we've had anything, from this Furnace Room Brewing. They do have a couple of other beers out there, so I might have to go try those. And I'm giving this one a solid 4.
Oh, wow. Okay. Personally, as I'm burping out the flavors through my nose, I'm gonna say I wouldn't necessarily buy it. I wouldn't necessarily stock it in my fridge. So it's not bad. As a light beer drinker, I don't think the blend works for me. You know, you got the hops, you got the citrus, you got the fruit, you got the carbonation. I probably would say I'm gonna probably give it about a 3 as well. So not necessarily my cup of tea. And with that being said, Bob, we want to thank you so much for being on our show. A lot of good laughs, and man, the people that you've met and the things that you've done, absolutely inspiring and awesome. We want to give you an opportunity right now to talk about yourself. Let our audience know how they can find you, how they can see you, the shows that you're on, all your social media. This little bit is all you.
Well, basically, you can catch my show. It's Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 a.m. It's the Romeo Report, and we run the show. It's a half-hour show. We have great guests on, like you guys will be on an upcoming show. And then the Bob and Annie show. We have a new show posted every Monday. So look for us on YouTube, RomeoRadio.org.
Cool. So, and the Romeo Report is on YourTV.
Yes, it's
And
on YourTV.
Does YourTV run their stuff through a website if our viewers are not a Kojiko subscriber and they would? I'm sorry?
It is just strictly on the channel, so you have to be a subscriber to YourTV Kojiko.
Alrighty then.
we'll see if we can find a bootleg version.
Absolutely.
So once again, Bob, we want to thank you for being on our show. I'm Paul.
I'm Ray. This is Bob.
This is Bob Romeo, and we are the Alconauts.
Cheers, all.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.